back with the Nocturnal. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So to start us off, can you both tell me a little bit about your characters and welcome to Chippendales?
I play Steve Banerjee. He's the guy who created Chippendales. He's this immigrant who came to America and wanted to be very successful, and he just happened upon this idea, male strip club, and it became fabulously successful, and it's with us to this day.
I play Irene Banerjee, Steve's wife, a woman who loves numbers and loves her husband. She's the accountant for the club, and also, I would say, the unofficial vice president
Oh,
slash CFO slash CEO of.
for sure. She's the brains behind the operation.
I would say officially, not unofficially, officially.
Right?
So this show is inspired by the true story behind Chippendales. So how did you both approach and prepare for this role?
I sort of just approached the character as written because the real person, there's just not much footage of him. There's stuff of people saying what they thought of him, but there isn't really very much about him directly. It's just what he did and what people said about him. But my job wasn't to try and recreate the real person. My job was to create this character as written. I'm not playing someone like Elvis where everybody knows who it is, or Lincoln, where you have to like sort of match people's,
Are those your next jobs?
mental image of him. Yeah, I'm going to Lincoln next. Everyone's going to be very upset at what I'm doing with Lincoln. Elvis isn't going to make him happy either. We just had an Elvis movie. Why is a Pakistani guy playing Elvis?
I'm playing Elvis.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll play the Tom Hanks.
An actor
Did this
prepares.
character
Uta Hagen.
as written and not, I'm not playing Elvis or Lincoln, and then what if I do the same riff again? And the character was so well written, so it was just about, like, how do I play this guy in a way that makes sense? He does a lot of bad things. How do I create a character who can do those bad things and an audience watches him and understands why he did them?
Yeah, we had quite a bit of source material for the events of this show and what happened in real life, but we didn't have quite as much information about the people and the characters. And in my case, all we had was one photo. So really the job for us was to flesh out a character and make them human that fit into the circumstances of the events, but also make sure that they had substance and complication and most of all that the audience wanted to know what happened to them and where they went and why they did it.
Thank you guys so much for speaking with me today, though.
Thank you. Very nice talking to you.
So tell me a little bit about your character in the show.
Oh my God, I play Nick DeNoyer, who is a creative visionary who has so much creative energy and not enough kind of like outlets to kind of pour it into, which is sort of his story. He when we find him in the story, he has had some success. He won 2 Emmys for a great children's show that he created, but is at a sort of a low point and is looking for something to pour all his kind of vision into. And he kind of weasels his way into being part of the Chippendales phenomenon and sees it as an opportunity for him to, reach for greatness. So he's a sort of larger than life in some ways, really, really awesome character to play. I felt very, very fortunate to have the chance.
Exactly. And one of the things I enjoyed about your character was the way that he manipulated his circumstances to benefit and create opportunities for himself.
Uh-huh.
So what was your preparation like for the role?
Because I'm not manipulative as a person, is that what you mean? I studied a lot of other people. Yeah. No,
It was good.
I think you try and sort of find those parts of yourself when you're playing a character, and we all know how to try and, manipulate situations to get what we want, especially creatively. You try and like fit, try and sort of, I don't know, there are moments where I've tried to talk myself up to get the job and, all that kind of stuff. But I know characters like Nick DeNoyer. I've worked with people like Nick DeNoyer. I've seen how that kind of personality works, and I understand it. I understand this kind of I relate to that sort of desire to have like, you know, creative ideas and really wanted to sort of to realize it. And I don't think this is necessarily me. I'm not as fiercely ambitious as Nick Denoyer was, but I know what it's like to you know, want to try and make that happen and sort of want to do everything that you can to kind of realize your creative vision, you know, which is definitely what he was doing. Sometimes in a very kind of brash and sort of not always in the kindest way, but I think it came from a place of like, you know, like having this incredible vision and being uncompromising about it. I don't think he was essentially a mean person.
Definitely. I feel like he was trying to escape his reality at certain points. Because in the beginning, when you see what he's going through, he's trying to, you know, get those opportunities back for himself, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you know, there's always an element probably for most artists of sort of exercising your own demons or just, you know, having like whatever energy you have from the experiences that you've had in your life and trying to kind of like, it's sort of a little bit like therapy sometimes. Maybe it shouldn't be, but like, you know, that's where a lot of creativity comes from, like wanting to make beautiful things or wanting to make inspiring things or tell stories that allow people to have greater understanding about, you know, whatever it is the story's about. And I think he was definitely one of those people.
Definitely. And thank you so much for speaking with me today.
Of course, my pleasure. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Rebecca with The Nocturnal. How are you?
Hey,
Hello,
Rebecca, how are you
love.
doing?
I'm good. So to start us off, tell me a little bit about both of your characters.
Okay, I'll go first. Otis, he comes in. He becomes very quickly the most popular dancer at the club, and you know, and gets close to Steve. They become really close friends. But then, you know, they have a falling out. Yeah, that's all it was. I don't want to, you know, but watch the show.
Yeah. Ray Colon is like dude from a working class background in the Bronx who moves to LA. He's a hustler. He'll do your plumbing. He'll wash your windows. He'll write a screenplay for you. He'll do whatever you need and whatever helps him get ahead and make a buck. And he shows up at Chippendales. He sees the owner and he goes, "Oh, look, a brown man who owns something. I want to be friends with him." And a lot happens after that.
Definitely. And the show was inspired by the true story behind Chippendales. So did knowing this help bring any insight to both of your characters?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think knowing it helped me, not that I wouldn't have otherwise, but really helped me bring a groundedness to it, you know, knowing that these are true things. It's not just something from someone's head, you know what I mean? These are true things that happen to people, and you have to go through it as a human being would, you know, dealing with these things. I think some of my biggest challenges were just dealing with the discrimination and you know, that it would, dealing with the discrimination that it was of dancing in this world, becoming that popular, but it was really a fetishization, you know, really being fetishized, really being uplifted and desired because you're the forbidden fruit or the other, and how that makes you feel, you know, as a black man going through these things, that there's something gutturally that feels wrong about it. You know, I think that was my biggest challenge, and to know that that's a challenge that a lot of people go through just grounded me, you know, and I think that kind of informed choices I made, things that I felt, vulnerability I decided to show or tried to hide.
Yeah. This was my third time playing a character that was based on someone in real life, but then was fictionalized.
Yeah.
And what's really interesting about it for me is that, like, the ego that comes in, because there's a part of me that's like, no, you gotta get this right. This is a real life, or it's inspired by real life things, and you want to give it a certain integrity. And then you're like, oh, okay, that's a lot of ego. I'm just trying to tell a story. And it's fictionalized. You know what I'm saying? Like, we made up things, so it doesn't. There is a seriousness to it. Absolutely, there's a respect that you come in with, knowing that, and a humility. But then the other side of the coin is sometimes you look at things and you go, "There's no way that could have happened," or "There's no way that people go through these things." But you're like, "No, actually, like these are all human emotions that we all possess, and all of this." You know, some of the things in this script happened and some of the things didn't, but they could have.
Definitely. Thank you guys so much for speaking with me today.
Thank you. Take care.